Today I was thinking we would emphasise hips, do a little bit more hip work than usual, do some dynamic flow into pigeon and out of pigeon, and then later on in the class hold the pigeon pose. But let's start off, just find a comfortable seated position, sit nice and tall. I always find if I'm not thinking about how I'm sitting, I tend to slouch a little bit, so we want to try and get into the habit of not even doing that when we're not thinking about it. And it is difficult, but obviously when we're focusing on our posture, we can sit tall and close the eyes, relax the shoulders, the face, and bring all your attention to the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose, starting to take longer, deeper breaths. You can hear the sound of the breathing as the oxygen flows through the throat. Keep that focus. Now let's start stretching the neck out. So start to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. Letting the head get heavier with the breath. I'm trying to keep both shoulders soft, so that we're just feeling the stretch in the side of the neck. We inhale back up to neutral and then exhale over to the other side. Stretching out the other side of the neck. Inhale the head up again, back to neutral. And turn the head over in one direction. So I'm looking over the right shoulder. I'm keeping the shoulders facing forward, so I'm just turning the head, trying to get tall, letting the movement follow the eyes. Inhale to neutral, exhale as we turn the head in the other direction. Inhale back to neutral, exhale chin to chest. Now this time we're going to take the hands behind the head and just encourage the chin in a little closer. And we're doing this a few times. Each time you're trying to go a little bit deeper, rounding the back a little bit more as you exhale. Inhale, dropping the belly a little bit more. Going slow, going with the breath, trying to synchronize the movement with the breath. Then walk the hands forward and lift the hips up, coming into a plank pose. So first of all, if this does bother the wrists, you can come onto the forearms. And if you're really straining to hold this, you can bring the knees down. We want to wiggle the toes back so the heels are directly over the toes, and we're bringing the shoulders over the wrists. The next thing we're trying to do is lift up between the shoulder blades. So try not to sink like this. Try not to sink between the shoulders. You're lifting that area up. And for those that want a little bit more challenge, we bring one leg up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the other leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side plank. We bring one hand to center, we stack the feet, we bring the other arm up. And you know, options, top foot down in front of you, or you can bring the bottom knee down. Makes it a little bit easier. If this bothers the shoulder, the arm, the wrists, come into forearm plank. More challenge, folks, you bring the top leg up. Don't drop the head. So you don't want to drop the head like this. You want to keep the neck nicely lined up with the back. We're back in plank, side plank on the other side. Planks are good. They strengthen the body, they strengthen the core. But stay safe. Pushing into the ground a lot as you reach up, maybe bringing the top leg up. We come down into plank, knees down, and then child's pose. Extend the arms forward, extended child's pose. And then take a little bit of a side stretch. You're walking the hands over to one side. So we're getting a bit of an extra stretch in the back. Should feel a nice stretch. And then over the other side. And we'll hold this 3 or 4 breaths. Don't hold the breath, just breathe 3 or 4 times. And then we come back to center and we come up. We sit on the heels, little bit of a backward bend, hands down, chin tucked, and you can just hang out here. Puffing the chest out, elbows bent, chin tucked. You can take the head back carefully if the neck is good. You can bring the hips up. Wherever you're at, do what feels good. And then we come down. We slide the hands forward. Remember, challenge yourselves, but don't make it too difficult. Keep yourselves safe. Downward facing dog. We bring the feet a little bit closer. So I've got about 2 inches between the big toes, and I'm just going to walk the dog, bending one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Take your time. Nice calf stretch. And then we bring the knees down and we sit on the heels again. So I'm going to face you guys for a bit. What we're going to do, we're going to stretch the hands out, we'll stretch the feet out, and then we're going to do some dynamic stretching of the quads and the adductors. So first of all, I'm sitting on the heels, my knees are apart, and I'm going to bring my hands between the legs, fingers pointing towards the feet, inside of the wrist, parallel to the front of the mat. So this is a good stretch for me, and if you want more stretch, you bring those heels, you bring those sit bones a little bit closer to the heels. Some of you, if you're super flexible, maybe you don't feel a lot. This is a good stretch for me. I do this a lot. I need to. Let's stretch the fingers out. So keep the fingers on the mat and just bring the palm and the heel of the hand off. So we're just stretching out the fingers. This feels good. This feels all good. It's almost like it's bringing energy to the hands. I can feel that energy increasing up through the fingers, the hand, up through the inside of the arms. And release. Shake the hands out. The only thing that doesn't stretch is the thumb, so let's give that a little bit of extra attention. So push the thumb, one thumb into the palm of the opposite hand, and just stretch out. And then on the other side. Come back onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, sweep that foot through, back knee down, low lunge. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep the hands on that front knee and we're just going to bring ourselves forward and back. You're not going back too far, it's just more of a quad psoas stretch rather than a hamstring stretch. So we'll just do this a few times. Now and again I throw this into the practice. And then hold the lunge, so we're coming forward, and then if you want you can bring the arms up, add a little backward bend for 3 or 4 breaths. Bring the hands down, take that right leg over to the side, 90 degrees between at the knee. The foot is pointing over to the side, the foot is lined up with the hip, forearm onto the leg, and this time we're just going to lean over to the side and back. Lean over and back. And this is going to stretch out the adductors. Just going from side to side. And then we're going to keep that lean. We bring the left arm up and add a side stretch. We come back up, we extend the leg to the side, this time the feet is pointing forward, the leg is straight. We bring the forearms to the ground and we just bring the body forward and back. We'll do this a few times. And then hold it, pulling yourself back and hold. And then come up, bring the other foot forward. And then hands on that front knee, lean forward and back, forward and back. We'll do that a few times. So we're stretching out the front of that back leg. This is where the legs get tight, especially if you sit down a lot. We tighten up at the front of the legs, the back of the legs, the calf muscles. So this is really good to do, especially if you've got an office job, you're having to sit down a lot. Hold the lunge, so we're coming forward, and if you want, arms come up, framing the face, maybe lean back a little bit. We then take the leg over to the side, foot pointing to the side, and we just lean over and back to neutral. Just go from side to side. Hold the side lunge, bringing the right arm over, taking a side stretch. And then we come back up, lunge, first side again, so it'd be for you, your right foot forward. Now this time, hands either side of the foot, we'll walk that foot forward. We're going to add more of a hamstring stretch this time. So we're going to, as we come back, we're going to start straightening that leg, and then into the lunge, and then the extension. You don't need to go too deep, just feel an easy stretch. We're not competing, so don't strain. That'll keep you nice and safe. But we are going to hold that stretch. So next time the leg is extended, we walk the hands in a little bit closer. We want to make sure the kneecap toes are pointing up. If your hands can't touch the ground, maybe a couple of blocks or books or something. Toes, kneecap up towards the ceiling. Eventually the leg is going to be straight, but maybe not yet. and also the quads engaged. We're back into the lunge, and then let's go into lizard, bringing the forearms to the ground or a block, or you can just stay on the hands, getting a little bit more of a hip stretch here. As I say, we're focusing a little bit more on hips today. We'll maybe work our way to standing pigeon, maybe flying pigeon. We'll see how it feels. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, you sweep that foot through. We're back into lunge on the other side. We bring the hands down. We walk that front foot forward an inch or two, maybe. Exhale, we extend the leg, getting a bit straighter. Inhale, lunge. And we'll just repeat that a few times. Just getting the body used to that extension. Then we'll hold the extension. Kneecap toes up. Make sure the hands are on the ground if you can, just to keep a little bit stable. I mean, if you have to come up like this, that's fine, but ideally fingers are touching the ground, or you've got the hands on the block. And maybe you can straighten the leg. Don't force it. Maybe you can engage those quads a little bit more. And then we're going to go into lizard, so we're back in the lunge. We bring the forearms to the ground or a block, or you can stay on the hands, and we just hang out here for a few breaths. Come up, plank, knees down, elbows in, chin chest forward and down, inhaling into cobra, exhale downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up, stack the hips, bend the top knee, opening that hip. Keep that length in down dog. Breathe. Top foot joins the bottom foot. Inhale the other leg up. Stack the hips, bending that top knee. Top foot joins the bottom foot. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. Knees bend. Inhale into chair. Exhale as we come back into mountain. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, keep the legs straight this time if you want, coming all the way up. Exhale, mountain. So if you have any back concerns, as you come up, I'd suggest you come up with the knees bent like this. If you're okay, if your back is good, a little bit more challenge, you have to work the core a little bit more, you can come up with a straight back. And the legs so straight as well. So whatever feels right for you. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we're folding forward. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale into mountain. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Keep the fingers interlaced. Point the index finger towards the ceiling. Reach, get tall. Exhale over to one side. Bit of a side stretch. Hang out here for a few breaths. Let yourself go deeper with the exhale. Inhale, coming up. Reach. Exhale to the other side. 2, 3 breaths here. Just letting yourself go deeper with the breath. And then we come back up. We take a little bit of a backward bend, keeping the arms either side of the ears, engaging the glutes. Inhale up, exhale we hinge forward, and we fold forward, keeping the back nice and safe. Feet are parallel, knees are bent. We're resting the belly on the legs. Take hold of the back of the ankles. Get a good grip. Keep that contact between belly and legs as you straighten the legs just a little bit more, getting into more of a hamstring stretch. Head is totally relaxed. Breathe. I'm really gripping the legs. I'm trying to pull myself closer to the legs and trying to pull myself closer to the ground as well. Knees bent, and we come all the way up. And then mountain. Always keep the back safe. If you feel anything in the back, it's just a gentle stretch. If it's worse than that, bend the knees more. Keep safe. Let's flow into the warrior poses, maybe extended side angle. Come to the front of the mat. Inhale into chair. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, we come into plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground, elbows in. Inhaling into cobra or up dog, hold up dog or cobra. So I was teaching a class yesterday, and what one of the people was doing, they were sort of letting themselves drop so the shoulders were coming up either side of the ears. Please avoid that. If you're doing up dog, hips are up, and you're trying to bring the head up, shoulders down. If you're in cobra, same action, shoulders down, head up, opening that chest. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We come into warrior one. We add a little bit of a back bend. And then we come into warrior two. So what we're going to do here, warrior two by the way, keep that leg nicely lined up with the knee and nicely lined up with the foot. We're going to add eagle arms, so we're going to look towards the side of the room. So it's going to be your right foot forward. So you want to bring the left arm under the right arm. Eagle arms, and then we start bringing the arms up. Getting a good shoulder stretch on this one. You want to keep your mind on that right knee, and just make sure it doesn't sort of start to relax and come inward. So you want to keep that nice alignment. Reverse warrior, and then let's do extended side angle pose. Forearm to the front knee. You bring the other arm over the head and you're looking up. Adding a side stretch. Legs are working on this one as well. Warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Into plank. Chaturanga, knees, chin, chest to ground, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one. Warrior two. Shoulders relaxed, lines of energy through the arms. Knee nicely lined up. Look to the side, bring that right arm under the left arm, adding eagle arms. Back into warrior two, reverse warrior, extended side angle. Warrior two, reverse warrior, plank, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog, and then let's just relax for a few breaths. And then slowly come up on, sit on the heels. Don't forget, you don't have to hold poses as long as I say. You can come into child's pose whenever you want. Back onto the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Plank. Chaturanga. Up dog, hold up dog. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go in and out of pigeon, so sort of like a dynamic flow. If pigeon bothers you, you can do recline pigeon. Come back into down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we bring that knee forward. We're coming into pigeon. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, we're back in plank. Chaturanga, inhaling to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we pull that knee forward, pigeon. Inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, bring the knee forward. Inhale, raise pigeon. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring that knee forward. Inhale, raise pigeon. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog and down dog. And I think we deserve a rest. Child's pose. Just hang out in child's pose a little bit. So we've got that little flow going. You should be generating that internal heat. Should feel good. Come up, sit on the heels. Work those shoulders a little bit. Just loosen up a little bit more. Back onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. I tell you what, let's come onto our backs and we'll do recline pigeon before we do tree and standing pigeon. So we've got those hips nicely warmed up. So come onto your back. Bring the outer of the left foot onto the right leg. And you're going to pull those legs in. And you're activating the foot that's close to you. You're trying to keep the tailbone down. You pull in the legs in. You can hold on to the back of the leg, or if you're super flexible, you can hug that leg that's close to you. What I mean by that is you bringing the foot into the crux of one arm, and you're bringing the knee into the crux of the other arm, and then you can get a little deeper into the pose. If that's too much, just do regular recline pigeon, just holding onto the back of the leg. Now start rocking, rock from side to side. Just giving that back a little bit of a massage. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. When you start off, just holding onto the back of the other leg, pulling the legs in, tailbone down. And if you can, and if you want to go deeper, you can hug the leg. But again, you're trying to keep the tailbone down, and we add a little bit of a rocking motion, side to side. The rocking, you just get a bit of an extra stretch in the lower back, and you get a little bit of a massage there. Okay, knees come in. Hold onto the back of the legs, and we just rock ourselves up into boat. Opening the chest, trying to keep the back neutral, and maybe if you want a bit more challenge, we bring the legs up. Hold it for 3 or 4 breaths. Keep that core working. And then we sit with the legs crossed. We come onto our hands and knees. We come into downward facing dog. And we look forward, we walk forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale coming all the way up. Exhale into mountain. Okay, tree pose. Hopefully you've been doing tree pose every day for the last 3 weeks. You're going to balance on that right foot. Left foot is inside the leg, below or above the knee. Focus on something not moving. Palms together. Whenever you're ready, you can raise the arms. I like to take my time here. So standing leg, you're working those muscles. We're opening the hip again, so another hip opener. You're having to concentrate just to keep that balance. You're breathing. Maybe you're starting to feel it in the standing leg. Quads are working, calf muscles starting to work. The foot is working. And we bring the hands down, legs down. We shake everything out. Loosen up. Other side. You're on the other foot. Bring the opposite one inside the leg. Just remember it's above or below the knee. Please don't push into the knee joint. Get tall, relax the shoulders. Arms up whenever you're ready. And if your foot is above the knee, pushing into the inner quad, you should be able to feel those muscles working. Try and do that. And breathe, don't hold the breath. I'm finding my balance is a little bit easier this side. I'm not sort of wavering from side to side quite so much. We're all a little bit unbalanced, but trying to bring that balance in yoga. Okay, standing pigeon. We'll do standing pigeon, both sides, and then some of us maybe are going to do flying pigeon. So start standing on the right foot. This time the knee is bent and the other foot is on top. This top foot is flexed, dorsiflexion, and we're just going to rest the hands on that top leg. You guys know this one. And you're just going to hang out here. Now the lower you go, the more you bend the knee, the more you're going to feel the stretching, especially in that outer hip. The block is there just so we can, just to assist with the balance. Just makes it a little bit easier to keep that balance. If you're coming down, I would start off with the block high and then lower it if you want, and eventually maybe touching the ground with the fingers, and then we just hold. So I'm just got my fingertips on the ground here. And then we're going to come back up and switch over to the other side. As I say, we'll do this both sides twice. The second time you have the option of doing the hand balance if you want. Flying pigeon is a challenge. It's an advanced pose. So if you're not there, don't worry. Not many of us can do it. It's a little bit like crow. When you get into flying pigeon, you're moving the weight carefully. In fact, if you want to do crow instead, that's fine. And then we slowly come back up. So I'm going to show you from the side view. Yeah, I think I'll show you from the side view. So I'm on, you guys get on your right foot. I'm doing the mirror image. You bring the other foot on top. So this top shin, the inside of the shin, is actually, you think of it as like a shelf for the ribs. So we're trying to get contact between the ribs and that top leg. The next thing, I push one arm into that inside of the foot. I'm trying to get the foot pretty high up the arm, and I'm trying to grab the arm with the toes, and then push the other arm into the shin just below the knee. So I've got a nice solid base, and then I just lean forward just like we would in crow. Just lean forward, and then I'm wiggling that foot back until that foot just floats off the ground. I'm really grabbing that arm with the foot, and then I'm trying to extend that leg back, and we're flying. I can't hold it too long. It's a challenge. If you can do that, you deserve a gold star. Okay, other side. Some of you, I know, you're just saying, this guy's crazy. You can just be doing reclined pigeon instead if you want. I like hand balances. Other side, you're on the other foot, top foot, top foot is flexed, dorsiflexion. We bring the fingertips to the ground. You can just hang out here. As I say, the top shin is like a ledge. We're pushing one arm to the inside of the foot, the other arm into the leg. I'm trying to get as low as I can, and the leg as high up the arm as I can, and then I'm just bringing the hand slightly forward. I'm wiggling that foot back. Start engaging the core. You're looking forward, leaning forward, and you let that foot float. And then if you really want to challenge, you've got to really, really grab that arm with the foot as you extend the leg back, and we come back up. Quite an intense hip stretch, so you're getting really good stretch there. That's why we do those hip openers first, because this is a challenging hip opener. Whew. That's a tough one. Come back onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Come face down. We're going to do work the back a little bit. We'll do some back strengthening. So I'm just going to stack my hands and just rest my forehead on the top hand. And then just bring that right leg up and down. That's all we're doing. Just bring the right leg up and down a few times. And then keep that leg raised. So the leg is straight, the leg is raised, and you hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just little pulses. Keep the leg raised, you're not bringing the leg all the way down, just little pulses with that leg. And then we lower the leg. And then we bring the other leg up and down. A little bit more movement here. You're touching the ground with the toes on this time and bringing the leg up. We keep the leg raised, keep the leg straight for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then tiny little pulses. And then we bring the leg down and we relax. Maybe bring one side of the face onto the mat and just relax here. Dhanurasana. Actually, before we do Dhanurasana, let's do that Superman pose. Extend the legs, bring the legs up, extend the arms, bring the arms up, bring the chest up, try and keep the big toes touching each other, and you breathe. Engaging the glutes. If it bothers the lower back, come a little bit lower. Engage the core more. If it still bothers the back, you come all the way down. Then Dhanurasana. Find the feet. You can hold onto the top of the feet just below the toes, or you can hold onto the inside of the ankles. Legs are going to do the work on this one. You're pushing the feet into the hands. You're lifting the feet up towards the ceiling. You're opening that chest. You're looking up. Don't let the legs splay out. Try not to let the legs splay out too much. That'll put more strain on the back. Breathe. Opening that chest. Push. Come up. And then come down. Bring the other side of the face onto the mat. Relax. Head back to center. Hands under the shoulders. Child's pose, this time with the knees together. Arms either side of the legs. Head supported. And then we slowly come back up. So we're getting well, in that child's pose, we're getting a nice gentle stretch to the back. I know you tend to always do that after the back strengthening stuff. Back onto the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we're bringing that knee forward. We're back in pigeon. Raised pigeon. Center the knee more if you need to, if it's too much of a groin stretch. The next thing I like to do, I'm tucking the toes of my back foot. I'm grabbing the mat and I'm just walking that foot back a little bit. That gives me a little bit extra stretch. It lets me go a little bit lower. Do that if you want. Some of you might have a big gap underneath the hip. If you do, you could slide a cushion underneath or a block. Try and keep nice and even. Don't lean over to one side or the other side. Keep even, keep the spine in a nice straight line. Raised pigeon, we're getting a bit of a back bend. Oh, the next thing, that back foot. Bring the top of the foot onto the mat and try and keep the foot nicely lined up. Try not to sickle the foot. Extended pigeon, we come down and we relax here. Just let gravity do the work for you. If this pose does bother the knee, reclined pigeon on your back, doing reclined pigeon again would probably be a good option. Or make sure that foot of the front leg is pulled in. If your shin is more parallel to the front of the mat, you can get a deeper hip stretch, but potentially it can put more stress on the knee. So just be aware of that. Pigeon is nice. You know, you're not really having to work on this one. Gravity is doing all the work for us, and you feel you going a little deeper with the breath. Okay, for those that want to add a quad stretch, come up into raised pigeon. So you guys should have the right knee forward. So you're going to take the left hand, reach for the inside of the left foot, and pull that foot in towards you. Getting a little bit more of a quad stretch here. And then we're going to hold onto the foot with the other hand. But this time we're pushing the foot into the hand. So the leg is doing the work, and we're adding a little bit of a twist. So we're opening the torso towards the side of the room. And then we release. Tuck the toes of the back foot again, come into down dog, walk the dog. Other side. Bring the left leg up. For most of you, it's going to be the left leg. Raised, extended down dog. And then we bring that knee forward. Carefully come into pigeon. Respect the knee. Keep the hips even. Tuck the toes of the back foot maybe. Walk that foot back. And you can just find the stretch that's just right for you. Whenever you're in the right spot, top of the foot on the mat, and come into extended pigeon, and just hang out here. Just enjoy. It should be a very comfortable pose. If it's not comfortable, readjust, come out, do whatever it takes. For those that want to add a little bit of variety and add a little bit of a quad stretch, come back into raised pigeon, reach for that back foot, the inside of the foot, pull the foot in towards you. If you reach for the inside of the foot, you can possibly work the hand so it then comes onto the top of the foot. You can get a little bit more leverage. If the hand is on the outside of the foot, it's difficult to get that leverage, so I usually bring it on the inside of the foot. So if you watch here, I'll take the inside of the foot here, and then I'll bring my hand onto the top of the foot and pull the foot in. If it's on the outside, you can pull it in, but I find it a little bit more stressful on the shoulder that way. So I'd rather start from the inside of the foot. And then we take hold of the foot with the other hand, and we push the foot into the hand as much as you can, and then we open up. opening up towards the side of the room. And release. Down dog, walk the dog. And we bring the knees down. Okay, let's go into a seated twist. Lean over to one side. Bring one foot round. Hug the knee, or you're bringing the arm outside the leg into a seated twist, getting tall. Other hand behind you. Come into that twist for 3 or 4 breaths. Unwind, switch legs, and then we twist in the other direction. You can hug the knee, use the arm as a leverage, whatever, other hand behind you. Trying to get tall, try not to let the head jut forward, taking the twist. We come out of the twist, come onto the mat, pull the knees in, so you're on the mat, you're pulling the knees in and you're just going to rock from side to side. Full body stretch, extend the legs, extend the arms over the head, trying to get as much length as you can. Let's add a little bit of attraction. Push the feet into the ground, lift the hips up and pull the hips away from the feet. Push the head into the ground, lift the back up, pull the back away from the hips. Finally, head comes up, we tuck the chin and lower the head. Just trying to get length in the back of the neck, that last step. Do that again. Hips come up, pulled away from the feet, back is pulled away from the hips, and then we lengthen the neck. Side stretch, getting into that banana shape, stretching out one side of the body. Hold it for a few breaths. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. We walk the feet in, pull the knees in, extend the legs up to the ceiling. 90 degrees between the legs and the torso, arms out either side, about 45 degrees. We take the legs over to one side, about halfway down, back up, over to the other side, halfway down, windshield wipers. Just going from side to side. You don't have to go down too far. Don't make it too difficult, but far enough so it's a little bit of a challenge. The arms pushed into the ground help you go down slow and help you bring the legs back up. This is a nice way to strengthen the core. We're adding a little bit of a twist. So we're strengthening the back, getting a bit more mobility in the back. A couple more each side. We lower the legs. We take another full body stretch. And then we take Shavasana. Bring the arms either side of you, palms face upward, palms face the ceiling, eyes closed, relax. Moisten the lips. And just let yourself sink into the ground. Letting all that tension melt away. It's almost like you're trying to merge with the earth, trying to become one with the earth. Breathing is regular. You're keeping your attention on the breath. Start to take deeper breaths. For those that want to hold Shavasana longer, go for it. For those that want to come out, walk the feet in and just lean over to one side, take a breath or two. And then gently push yourself up into a seated position. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do a couple more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Palms stay together. Hands to the forehead. Namaste.